What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be Black Ink Crew Chicago Season 6, Episode 8. So, we're still in New Orleans. Everybody is staying on for a couple of days. It's still the same day as the funeral, but, we're moving into the night. We see that Ryan and Kit were hanging out. They had a little something, little lunch, late dinner, early, whatever. Late lunch, early dinner is what I meant to say. And they're hanging out. And, they clearly are vibing each other. I don't know what's real, I don't know if they really deep into anything, but they clearly like each other's company. And, Kit's talking to Ryan saying, basically, I know how Charmaine feels, been there, done that, and Ryan was like, look, I'm not the reason why she's down here. Her and Charmaine had their own relationship. That's what they're saying to the producers. And then they went on to talk about how, she said, well, Charmaine did offer me a job, and with everything going on in New York, I'm really considering it. She was, because she was like, look, on top of the situation that went down, like the people I thought were my friends turned on me. So at this point, she feeling like it ain't really nothing in New York for her. And Ryan, of course, is telling her, look, I think you should do it. Why not? We know why you feel that way, Ryan. So then, excuse me, I'm gonna go ahead and knock them out. So we're back in Chicago, and remember they left Fly and what's the face, the one that had the situation with the baby mom and everything, and he's saying that things are going really well. They're back on really good terms, and they're even talking about trying to get back together, like things are really going well. But of course he's nervous because he still has this court case looming over him. And he was like, yo, that's what got me messed up with my family in the first place. So, I have a court date coming up. I really don't want to say too much to her about it until I really know what's what. Because, that's how I ended up in this situation to begin with. Then we see the two of them going out and hanging out and just having a really good time. Him, his son, and the mother of his child. And, he tells her he loves her. And she tells him he loves her, that she loves him back, honey. And his face was like, did she just say it back? So I was like, yeah, they really working on, kind of bringing the family back together. But then we see him meet with his lawyer. And his lawyer was like, look, here's the plea deal. This is what they're offering. And it sounds like it's like a 2-year deal or something like that. That's what they're offering. And, of course, nobody wants to go to jail for 2 years. And he really feels like he could get the whole thing thrown out because even though they found the illegal firearm, what he's saying is that the search was illegal to begin with. That they did not have probable cause to pull him over to begin with. So, I'm no lawyer. I didn't go to anybody's law school. I have nobody's JD. But that's a pretty common argument that, we'll see. Then we dealing with the situation with Don Ford and the potential child. Here's the thing. They meet up at a restaurant, and I guess they were meeting up to just kind of, talk about doing the paternity test. And while they're there, honey, Don sort of gets a little snappy with old girl. And old girl gets snappy back at Don. And her thing is, I don't even know why you here. This don't have nothing to do with you. I'm not talking to him. Like, she started getting real snappy. So then, honey, Don takes out the paternity test and slams it on the table like, look, let's go on and do this. And the mother gets really pissed off, and she gets upset because she was like, this how we going to do this? Like, you just going to have my daughter take a paternity test in the middle of the damn restaurant? Like, that was real disrespectful. Like, this could have been handled differently. You could have invited me to your apartment to do this. You could have come to the house to do this. And she gets up and like storms out of there. You see, and y'all always know when it's real when you see the producers and stuff, because even the producers were trying to talk to her and tell her to just go back in and basically finish up the scene, just take the test, and she was like, nah, like, I'm not gonna have my daughter out here taking a paternity test in the middle of a damn restaurant. And she's pissed off at Don, she's pissed off at Ford, she's pissed off at producers, because she was like, so this what y'all was trying to do, just set me up, from the beginning. This is what this was, a setup from the beginning. And then you got Don on the other side saying, look, if it's really real and it's really what it is, then she wouldn't have any problem go ahead and taking the test. When it was my baby mother, she was confident, and she would have took a paternity test in the middle of the street if I needed her to, because she was that confident that I was the father. And everybody doesn't, I hate when people say that kind of stuff because everybody doesn't react the same way. I probably would have had a problem too. It's me and my daughter, we in the middle of a damn restaurant, and you just put a paternity test on the table, like, and you pulling out the damn swab and everything. Like, I would have had a problem with that too. It definitely could have been handled better. I understand where Don is coming from, and he's trying to protect Four. Four is really trying to, I think there's a part of Four that wants to be that girl's father. But he definitely understands where she's coming from the point of, I'm looking for my dad. And then at one point, the daughter was telling the mama to calm down and be the mature one, and you got to be bigger than them. And she done cussed the little girl out and told her, you stay in a child's place. I said, well, damn. But eventually, they talk her into coming back in. They probably said, look, we're going to add another $50 onto that gift card we got you to Target. And she was like, all right, I'm going to come back. Because she did end up coming back, and they did end up doing the damn swab test in the middle of the restaurant, which is what she was pissed off about to begin with. I'm like, y'all couldn't have gone into the production van and done that? I mean, if it was really, I know we're producing the show. Let me be clear. But if your concern was really about your child being exploited, it seems to me like you could have come up with a compromise that didn't put your daughter out there like that, which is what your concern was from the beginning. But okay, neither here nor there. So we got a couple of weeks to wait till we find out. And then we see Ford do a tattoo, and of course he's going through and talking about the whole thing and how he feels about, being the father and that whole process or whatever. Okay, so we got Chicago out the way. I think that's pretty much what went down in Chicago, I think. Let's go and get back to New Orleans. So now, that night they all decide they're going to go out and party. Charmaine even actually comes past the house. No. Before we get to that, we see Jess, Drea, and the other young man, the one I told you guys that's in the ballroom scene, forget his name, but they were all talking, and she's letting them know, look, Charmaine offered Kitty a job, and they were like, to do what? And she was like, I don't know, because in New York she was and they were like, see, you don't even know. So, that was sort of like a little jokey joke or whatever. But at the end of the day, what did Kitty do? I mean, I like Miss Kitty and all. She my DC homegirl, but she was a brand ambassador. I mean, I know what a brand ambassador does. So they're going to go out that night. They're going to Bourbon Street, and like I said, so this is the part where Charmaine even actually comes past the house. It's Charmaine and Neek come. And at first I thought Charmaine was going to go out and partying with them, which I would not have had a problem with. Let me be clear. I would not have drugged her for that or had an issue with it, because at the end of the day, I can't tell nobody how to grieve, okay? And she is from New Orleans, and that is just a part of the celebration of life, like they did the first line after her mom's funeral. Like, is it called the first line or the second line? Y'all know what I'm talking about, though. And I know somebody going to put it in the chat, so go on and get me together. I want to go to a funeral with one. I've never been to a funeral with I think it's called the second line. I've never been to a funeral with a second line. I think I would like to go to one. I just love that. I love the idea of celebrating someone's life, but see, I went left. Let me come back. Boom, right here. So, with that being said, they're going out. Now, Charmaine was like, look, y'all know I'm the turn-up queen, and I'm always ready for a party, but I'm just not ready to do that tonight. I'm drained. I'm tired. She was saying that she's not, ready to leave her dad because she knows her dad is really struggling. And that's what I thought of. I didn't think about so much having a problem with Charmaine partying as, is Charmaine comfortable leaving her dad right now? That's the part, because I told y'all last week, that man is broken. And I really do feel for him. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't even be surprised if Charmaine tries to get him to move to Chicago for a little while. Just for a little while. Either that or, and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, or he find himself remarried, like within the next year or so. Not because he done found the next best love of his life, but because when you've been with somebody for that long and you have to, anyway, y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all seen it happen in y'all probably done seen it happen in y'all family or y'all friends' family, honey. Neither here nor there. I keep going left. Let's stay right here. So, but they end up going down to Bourbon Street, honey, and Jess gets drunk, 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 and Jess gets off her ass. Now, they had already established earlier that they know that Ryan and Kitty, that the rumors out there that they're more than friends and that they like each other. And Jess even said, well, they definitely have some sort of connection. So, Jess, you knew before you got drunk that probably wouldn't have been cool to be flirting with Ryan in front of Kitty. Not to say that they're a couple and you owed her anything, but you knew. You knew. So they get out there, they get the partying, honey. Just drunk. And when I say drunk, I mean drunk as hell drunk. I mean, you know how people get loud, yelling drunk, spilling drinks drunk, can't walk up the steps drunk? That's the kind of drunk that Jess was, okay? Then she's all in Ryan's face, honey. She didn't end up flashing Ryan. And of course, Ryan handled it in a respectful tone, but if you're going to show me your breasts, I'm going to look kind of way. I mean, most men would. And of course, Kitty was giving her the look of death, baby. Do you hear me? Kitty was giving her that death stare. But here's what I love about Kitty. Kitty did not make a scene. She didn't get the cussing. She didn't get loud with Ryan. Now, she did tell Jess, you're doing a little much. I think you're a little drunk. I think it might be time for you to go home. But she didn't do the, this bitch, what? Now, don't get me wrong, she wasn't happy. She wasn't happy. But see, this is what I like about Kit, and this is what I'm talking about. These are grown women moves. See, Kit pulled that grown woman move on Jess. Let me tell you what she did. Her and Ryan left together. And Ryan said, where we going now? And Kit said, my hotel. See, that was a watch my smoke to Jess. Like, you can flirt with them. You can show them your boobs. You can rub up on them. You can do all of that. But at the end of the night, going on with me, boo. And Ryan came rolling up in there the next morning with his shades on. And here's the thing. They start questioning Ryan, like they know him like that. Like, this not non-mag. It'd be different if it was Ford or Van or hell, even Lily. You know what I mean? You don't know this man from a hole in the wall. Like, he extended y'all a courtesy by letting y'all stay at his house that he rented. He don't know none of y'all. He don't owe none of y'all the explanation. I don't give a damn where Ryan was, whether he was with Miss Kitty. Now, he said something to them about going out gambling or whatever. Child, you was rolling back in from Miss Kitty's room. And it's cool. Because you don't owe nobody. You a single man. She's a single woman. You don't owe nobody nothing. But I thought it was real interesting that they felt like they had a right to question him about where he been and who he was with. And Ryan basically let them know. Not your business. So later on that day, we see Kit meeting up with Charmaine, and they were having a decent conversation. Y'all, you could just tell, like, I just feel for Charmaine. I just do. I just feel for her. But they were having a good conversation, and Kitty Miss Kitty let her know how things went down with Jess. And she told Charmaine she was going to accept her job offer because Charmaine was saying how, her emails are blowing up. She got so much going on, so much on her plate. She was already sort of behind before all of this happened, and now she's way behind. So Miss Kitty was like, look, I'll be there to help you out. I'm there to help, get in where I fit in, and so y'all already know what they setting up. Y'all already know what they setting up down to the shop with Jess and Kitty and Ryan Child. That's why now I'm starting to think was the Ryan Kitty situation the long con, like they started on last season of New York and then they carried it over to Chicago, giving us the long storyline, or it's something y'all feel me? Y'all know what I'm going with that? Okay. So then we saw Jess talk. She called back over to the shop and back over to Second City, and she was kind of letting the fellas know that she kind of felt like Miss Kitty was a little, snobbish or whatever, little. And Drea was saying the same thing because she was saying how, when she tried to give Kitty a hug at the funeral, Kitty kind of gave her the side. Well, Drea, here's the thing. This happened, and the only reason why I'm saying this, y'all, is because this happened to me a couple of weeks ago. A couple of weeks ago, I was doing some community service, and I was being introduced to, I was dropping some things off, one of the organizations that I'm a member of. We were doing some stuff for the homeless. You know, we had made some collections, socks and underwear and toiletries and stuff like that. And we were dropping the things off. And I was being introduced to some of the people there. And the first two people I was introduced to, like the first person I was introduced to, I tried to give them the handshake, and they were like, nah, give me a hug. So I hugged them. The second person, hug, same thing. The third person, so now I'm like, hug. So the third person I went to go give a hug to, and she hit me with the and with her hand. Now I wasn't offended by that, because again, my first inclination was to do the handshake. But when the first two people was like, nah, we hug around here, when I got to the third person, I was just like, okay, that's what we do. And she hit me with the handshake. I wasn't offended by that. And I feel like that's kind of went down with Kitty. She don't know you. Everybody not a hugger. Everybody's not a hugger. And so when you went in for the hug and Kitty kind of hit you with the side hug, she was like, she hit me with the don't mess up my hair hug. I don't think that's what it was. I think it was a I don't know you hug. I think Kitty just might not be that chick. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. But so they kind of feeling some kind of way about Miss Kitty. They ain't really looking forward to Miss Kitty. And so Charmaine, she told Charmaine she would accept the job invitation and everything. And of course, Charmaine's excited because Charmaine is like, yes, like this is what I need. This is what I need, So then we see, this is pretty much where the episode ended, where Kitty is letting them know that she accepted Charmaine's job invitation and she's going to be coming to Chicago. And they were like, to do what? And she was like, to manage. Whatever Charmaine needs. And she started using that Charmaine shop conversation. And of course, Jess was like, well, wait a minute. We own the shop together. And, I need to have a conversation with Charmaine because we're in this together. It's not just Charmaine's shop. And I was like, see, here's where the shit about to pop off right here. Here's where it's about to be an issue. Which, of course, like I said, y'all know that's what they setting up, honey. So, anyway, we will see how this whole thing plays itself out. We'll pick up next week. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Peace.